Hi everyone, today is part 7 of our game and today we'll be making the butcher. I did not download, or at least I haven't opened the screenshot so that I can show you what we have to do today. So just a second. And yeah, I would say the butcher is probably the most complicated thing in the game. But it all comes down to collisions and if statements and different animations and stuff like that. So I don't think it's even that complicated. Just a lot of different things to be done. So I don't have zoom it as well. So zoom it. Right. So here is the butcher. He spawns somewhere from here, and there are lots of things to be done with him. So first things first, there are 4 ways for him to die. So one of them is the GMO button that we did last time. Then we have with the knife, then we have with the shotgun, with the grenade. He has to be walking from right to left. And what else? Yeah, once he dies with the shotgun, he gets chainsawed by these things here as well, which is a different animation. If he's thrown with the GMO, if the cow is in GMO mode, then he gets thrown up and again into the souls, which is a different animation as well. So a lot of things to be done here in terms of well, it's not that complicated. It's just a lot of things, and they're all done differently. And hopefully today I'll manage to do all of that. If not, we'll finish it next time. So yeah, since it's kind of similar to what we've already done in a couple of ways, I would like to not spend that much time on explanations. Just go through the code. So in order for us to test the butcher a little bit easier, I would like to start in here and just create him and just spawn a couple of butchers every second. Or every couple of seconds, so that we can see how they interact with the cow and so on. So in order to do that, we have to have a butcher list. So where to put it? Maybe here. Butcher list, which is gonna be array of butcher. And do I have this here? Probably yes. Okay. Then inside create, I have to of course set some around here. Maybe I have to say this dot butcher list equals empty array. And do I have a method, something with time? Maybe add multiple world bring to top. Okay, so we have this one. So I'll use that. Would say 2 seconds, and we'll create a butcher. So how to do that? Well, we have to just create him. So var sample butch equals new butcher this dot game, and after that let's give him a velocity, which we've already done in probably the first or the second lecture, but we'll go through the class once again and redo pretty much everything. So so for testing I was using 500, so I'll do that here as well. Okay, and after that we need to add them to a couple of groups and push him to this array, so that we can then update every single butcher that is on the screen. So where was I? Here. So let's do that. So we have to say this dot killer collection dot killer group dot add child at, and inside here we want to say sample butch dot state index 6 this dot, and I have to copy the same line because same as the cow, we couldn't fit all of the animations in a single sprite sheet, so we have states 2 as well. Hopefully I haven't changed that, no. And then finally we want to say this dot butcher list dot push sample butch. Alright, so this is everything we have to do to create a butcher. And once we do a couple of the methods inside the class itself, then we can test every single feature that we've done. And we'll start with just simple colliding with the ground and walking from right to left. And then after that, we'll do all kinds of different deaths that he can perform. Alright, so somewhere here, I don't know where, we want to say this dot butcher list dot for each butch, and we want to update with a lot of variables. So butch dot update, we want to give this dot current level so that he can collide with the ground of the current level. Also, we want to have this dot killer collection, so if there is something like blood and adding to the group or removing him from there, this is also something that we have to give. This dot butcher list for the same reason. If we want to remove him from the list, we have to have a reference to that as well. We want to have also this dot cow for collision with the cow, this dot thrown items, so that he can collide with grenades and knives and stuff like that as well. And this dot pick up items. Have I written this method last time? Sorry? Can't I just give game? So what's gonna happen when I give? Oh, you mean the class game? Yeah, probably I can, but I would rather not to. Also in terms of quality code, and also because I didn't think of this earlier, but if you just give game or the state itself, it's not very clear to anyone what you're doing, right? And this is quite descriptive of what you need and where to pass it and so on. If you just give game, you just give like a whole bunch of things that could not be used as well. So yeah, I would rather just do that. And we don't have an update method, so let me bring up the butcher who is in game object. Let me zoom that in, and inside here I'll just say update, just so that we don't get an error. Alright, let's get back in game, see if everything is fine. Okay, so now we have update. I'll fill that in a bit later on. What is the error here? Yeah, because we haven't added these things yet. So the last one, I don't know if I said this, but he has to drop items for the cow to pick. And they are stored in this array. And I haven't written the method for it. But I'll do that probably today if we get to that point. I think this will be the last thing that we'll do. I think, but I'm not sure for the butcher. Alright, so let's get in here and let's see what we have written, what we have to add, and so on. Okay, so here we have game, we have states, we have velocity. There is current state as well. We have states 2, and I have something which is also is dead, which is boolean. I know we have states, but we want to do a couple of things. So here we have states which pretty much describe everything that has to be done with the butcher. But say that we want to throw blood, or how do I say this? So either we want to throw blood or remove him from the scene. There has to be some way for us to be able to tell that in all of these cases. All right, because if I just have like a state here, dead, this is not going to be descriptive of what kind of animation do we want to play. but in the long but we would actually want to do in the end, remove him from the state independently of which 3 or 4 of the states he's in. So we are going to use that, and I also have blood thrown, which is boolean, and I am not sure if I'm using this as always, because I've removed it in some classes and I left it in some other classes, so I'm really not sure. Alright, so let's see what we have here. So as you probably remember, these are the animations for the first sprite sheet, which are holding states. And then I want to do the same thing for states 2. So inside here I want to say this dot states 2, just a second, states 2 equals this dot game dot add sprite 1300 400 butcher 2 is the key for this sprite sheet. So let me have a look whether I've preloaded it. That was in boot, I think. Yes, we do. It's right here. So let me get back into butcher. I don't think we'll be looking at anything in the cow, the item buttons, the menu, killer collection, pretty much just game and the butcher class, so I'll leave just those two. Okay, what else do we have? Now we have to add the animation. So this dot states 2 dot animations dot add. The first one that's in here is GMO death. So those are frames 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Frame rate is 30, and then we have this dot states 2 dot animations dot play. Dot add. This one is probably my favorite. It's called Soul Death. And then we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. And you remember that these values we just take from the JSON that we have, depending on how many frames we have for our animation. So this is 30 FPS as well. And we want to do a couple of things more as well. So we want to say this dot states 2 dot scale dot set. Remember that our butcher from the sprite sheet, I'll just show it in here. Remember that he's facing right, and we want to make him face left. So we want to set the scale on the X to -1, and then for the Y we want to set it to be 1. This dot states 2 dot anchor dot set 0.5 0.5, and I'm not doing this here, am I, for states 1? So just give me a second to check. This is quite weird. Oh yeah, I actually do it as well, so I have to do it here. I have to say this dot states dot scale dot set -1, 1. This dot states dot anchor dot set 0.5 0.5. Here the same holds as for the cow. If you remember, once we were doing something with collisions with the cow or something like that, we had a huge square which was red, and we couldn't do anything with the cow. So we have to set the body manually of the butcher, and I'll show that a bit further into the lecture as well. But it's the same thing. Since we have a big sprite sheet, it's not resized properly, and it takes the original size, which is 1024 by 1024, which is a huge square, and we want to make it small, and there is a method for that. And if you remember what that one was, it's this dot states dot body dot set size 100. So those are width and height, and then we want to do some offset by X and some offset by Y, just to place it properly. I think that's that, but before that we want to also say that we want to enable the physics for this specific sprite. This.game.physics okay, dot enable this dot state. I wonder if I'm doing the same thing for state 2, or at least not right now. Okay, let's get back to state 2. We want to do this dot state 2 dot alpha equals 0, so we don't want that to be visible unless the butcher dies in one of these two ways, for which we'll have a separate method which is very similar to what we did with the cow, I think with the death animation of the cow last time, where we changed the alphas and then we play the animation from state 2. So this alpha is 0, and alright, so the way I've done it is the butcher has 2 animations that I am using, and they're just played at random. So one of them is when he's just running, and the other one is when he's like attacking the cow. So let me show you. So there is idle. Let's go actually inside the menu so that I can show you which are the ones that I'm talking about. So butcher.state. Okay, so we have idle. Let's see what run is, and hopefully, yeah, I don't have it. So index.html, plain Chrome. Loading. So this is the running one, and we have the attack one, which I'll show you as well. Maybe F5 again, and this is the other one. So he's gonna run with either one of the two towards the cow. And you know, this is just a simple math.random thing. So if math.random is less than 0.5, we want to play the first animation, this dot states dot animations dot play. This is going to be run null true. This true is for repeating, and then we want to say else this dot states dot animations dot play. We want to play attack null true. All right. Is there anything else? There is actually. So for the states, there are a couple of things that we have to do as well. This dot states dot body dot fixed rotation equals true, so that if he collides with either the ground or grenades, knives, and so on, he doesn't rotate around. This is gonna keep him fixed. This dot states dot body dot gravity equals dot y equals 1000. Sorry, what's the question? Yeah, that's so. If this is our butcher and we hit him with a grenade, normally he would have to tilt to something like this, right? And we don't want to do that. Let's keep him fixed, and let's deal with all of the animations on our own. Okay. Okay. So I think that's that. So we give a gravity to him, which is not necessary to be done unless we want him to jump or something, but yeah, just I just set it there so that he can so once he spawns, he spawns a little bit on top of the ground, so it's like this, and I want him to just from this state where we spawn him to this state, we want that to be as not visible as possible. So this is why one of the things is to set a higher gravity, and the other one is to spawn him off screen as well. So either of the two will work. but I think we're using both in this specific game. Alright, so let's do the update now, and little by little you will see how the butcher, you know, evolves as a character in this lecture. So first thing that I want to do, current level, we have killer collection of type killer collection. We have butcher list, which is array of butcher. We have the cow, which is of type cow. We also have thrown items, which is of type, I think that was array of sprite. Was it? Yes. And then we have pickup items, which is also array of Phaser.sprite. And I didn't put Phaser here. And let's see, do we have all of these? I doubt it. Trailing comma, not allowed. Really? Okay, now it works. So we don't have a reference to level, so Alt enter generate path in comments, and go to the cow as well, generate path in comments. Alright, so what's the first thing that we would like to do? Let's move him left. This is quite simple. This dot states dot body dot velocity dot x equals minus this dot velocity. Alright, so this is gonna tell him to move left. There are a couple of things that I didn't do. So this dot is dead equals false. This dot blood thrown equals false as well. Am I missing something? The alpha of states 2 to 0, we have it here. And what else? Inside here I want to say this dot current state equals butcher states dot running as well. Yeah, I have it up here, so I don't need to. It's right here. Okay, so we're moving him, and let's see what's gonna happen. Although I don't think we'll see him at all, because he's probably just gonna fall off the level, but this will be fixed in the next 2 lines of code. And 2 seconds, yeah, so he spawned and then, you know, he just falls off kind of weirdly. Can we hit him with something? Oh yeah, it was on click, the cow dies. So let me change that as well. So let's go to game, down, on input down, this dot cow dot die. Let's remove that. And what else did I want to do? I wanted to go into menu so that our butcher doesn't fall, with the same lines as these two here. So we want to say in here, oh yeah, I have them here as well. So yeah, so now we can remove these 2 lines, and this one too, and this one as well. Alright, so let's get back into the butcher, and let's do collision with the ground. So just give me a second. This dot game dot physics dot arcade dot collide, it's gonna be this dot states current level dot ground dot image. And I want to do the same thing with second image. Alright, let's check what's going on here. Probably refresh a couple of times. And yeah, I think it's fine now, right? So we see him in both states depending on the RNG of the game, so he's both, attacking and running and so on. I don't think we can hit him, but this is gonna change. You don't think he's moving to the left? Sorry? Sorry, I don't change his position relative to the ground. Yeah, it just depends on the speed that we give. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but yeah, we can probably do him either slower or faster, or just change the speed of the ground as well. We'll see how to fix that probably later on in the lectures. All right. So what's the first thing that we want to do? Let me just check. So there are a couple of methods that I'm just gonna write down, and that will be everything that we need to do. But it's quite a lot. It's just I think 5 methods, but to do them, it's quite a bit of code to be written. So the first one is we want to have collision with the cow. So this dot butcher cow collision, and we want to say cow and killer collection. So we want to spawn blood and stuff like that, or depending on whether we are the cow is in GMO mode or not, we want to do 2 different things. Also, what is next? This dot butcher item collision. This is probably going to be the longest and hardest method, I think. So thrown items, killer collection, and pickup items. Okay, so a couple of things here to note. We need thrown items so that there is something to check for, whether we've thrown a grenade or something. If we have, we want to remove it from the screen or do something with it. This is for blood as well, blood, bones and stuff like that. And pickup items, so depending on some RNG that we can set, the butcher is gonna spawn a knife which is gonna fall on the ground and the cow can pick it up. So the butcher dies, then he throws the knife, the knife falls here and the cow picks it up after some time. And I think I haven't shown you the animation last time with the picking up of the knife. So yeah. Yes, question? When we shooting is going to be handled in a different method because there are different things going on there. So basically last time, I don't know if you remember, when we were writing the cow, we were only setting, so yeah, I do need the cow. So in here there was a method which determining the shooting, which is this one. So we were checking if they are on the same Y, so if they're on the same height, and if the cow is to the left of the butcher. Butch. And what else are we checking? Whether the state is not already, dead by shotgun. If it's not, then we can kill him with a shotgun, and we can play the animation of the cow. And also this method spawn knife, we haven't written yet, but we'll do that today as well. Alright, so let's go into here. What else do we need as a method? So this dot, as we said, this dot shotgun and saw death. Okay, and here we are only gonna need the killer collection. What else is there? This dot GMO blood killer collection. This is probably not a good way for a method, but I think this is literally the only thing it does. So just killing the butcher with the GMO. Maybe I should rename it, but a bit later. This dot remove butcher from game is the only method that we'll be using killer collection as well, so that we can remove them from the group there, and also the butcher list for the same reason. Alright, so let me comment all of these. And let's start with this one. I think this one is probably going to be the easiest. So yeah, let's do that. Butcher cow collision, and it takes cow of type cow and killer collection of type killer collection. Okay. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, so instead of using collide, because there is no reason to do that, and I found a couple of bugs when I was using that as well, we can just use overlap. So as soon as they overlap, something happens. It's the same logic, but we don't want them to collide in terms of physics. It's more like their bodies are overlapping. So this.games.physics.arcade.overlap. Okay, and in here we want to say this.states and cow.states. Okay, and what has to happen? What has to happen? So we have two cases to check, right? So the first one is if the cow is not in GMO, then we have to do something. So if cow.current state is not cow states.gmo, then we want to do the butcher, maybe change his. I don't have this method as well. This.change to attack. So this is a method that we'll write up here. Change to attack. So if he's not already in attack mode, then he will, just slice the cow once, and after that, we are gonna do everything else. Okay, so cow.die and killer collection dot game over equals true. Okay, what is the problem with this method? Function implementation must be changed to attack. Oh yes. Is it going to be better now? Yeah. All right. This method is very simple. I'll write it in a second. Okay. And then we have the else statement, which is going to be cow.states.body.immovable. Actually, I don't need those two. Those are. Let me just read that. Okay, then we have something else as well. So else if this dot current state is not butcher states dot thrown by GMO. So we don't want to be able to throw him twice, because overlap is called many times. It's not just once. So if that's not true, we want to say this dot thrown by GMO, which is a method that we don't have, and we'll probably write it pretty later in this lecture. Pretty much later. So null this. This is for the for my method, this one. Okay, is there anything else that I want to be doing in this method? Probably no. We can check this case if you want to, but first I have to do I have to at least say that we have a method which is thrown by GMO. Is it confusing, anything that I'm doing right now? No? Right. It's just that, these things are connected, and I don't want to go ahead of myself and explain things that are gonna come up later. So this is like a step-by-step, seeing what we've done. So let's have a look whether that's gonna work. So we would expect if the butcher hits the cow with the body that I have, actually I need to change this, so let me change it now. This is in menu, I said, and we want to change this to idle. Right, hit play, and hopefully the butcher, as soon as he gets here, our cow is gonna die. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, he keeps on spawning because I'm not changing the state, but this will be the point where we do game over as well. So yeah, so this one works. It's good. If I play with GMO, it's probably not gonna work now because we don't have this method and it does nothing yet. Right. So let me get back into game. And the method changed to attack, which I didn't create. Where is the butcher? It's here. This method I haven't implemented, so let's do that now. So this is going to be this dot state dot animations dot play. It's going to be attack null false. Okay, and then dot on complete. So we want him to attack once, I think. So yeah, and then change back to running. So it's gonna be here. This dot states dot animations dot play is gonna be run, then null, then true. Although it will be it will not be visible, I think, at all. Oh yeah, on complete at or add once, it doesn't really matter. I don't think it will be visible, or at least it will be very hard to see, but we can try and see that here. So he has to be attacking once. I'll refresh once again. So hit play. And yeah, he just chopped once, and we can even do something like this. What's gonna happen if I put this thing in here? Then probably we will be able to see what's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna be the same, so someone shouted out it's gonna be the same. Well, it's not, because here cow dot die. Okay, I don't have it, so maybe cow here. Well, it's not going to be the same because this is on complete of the first animation, and in here I was doing both at the same time. So first the butcher is going to finish his animation, and then after that the cow is going to die, basically. So let's see. Right. I have no idea why this happened. Why did this happen? Yeah, but why? Yeah, but why did the cow go? You know. Oh yeah, I have to do that as well, don't I? So this thing here, maybe here as well. Let's check. I'm not sure. So killer collection, and oops, it's not here. I have to say it here. Killer collection. Let's check whether that's the case. Or we can set the game over with some timeout or something. I'm sure that we can fix that. So refreshing twice, play, and let's see if we're gonna see the same thing. And it didn't die at all. Sorry? After the animation of the cow has finished. Okay, anyways, I'll just leave it as it was, because this is gonna yield a lot of bugs right now, I think. And we can fix that in the last lecture that I promised we will do balancing and stuff. So yeah, right now this is the way it is. Sorry? You have a question? Yes. In the else if,
shouldn't you also have in the brackets definition of if cow.current state equals cow space dot GMO?
okay, so the question, should I put in here also and cow states, cow dot current states is no is cow states dot GMO, right? I think not, because if this is true, I mean if this thing is true, then we are gonna do that, and then in the else if, I think this one is gonna be skipped, right? Because if we have the if, else if, else if, else if, and so on, only one of them executes, right? The first one that is true executes, and then the rest don't. So I think.
But if it's not, if the cow isn't in GMO mode, I mean the
Okay, so if the cow is not in a GMO mode, this is gonna happen, and this thing is not gonna execute, right? And if it is, it's gonna go in here. It's gonna check this statement as well, here without this cow thing, and then it's gonna do this method.
will it go into else if?
Yes, if it is. So if the cow is not, this is gonna execute, and if it is, and also this is true, this is almost like saying, you know, else, and inside here if, yeah, it's the same thing. If not, I would be very amazed, and we'll check it and write it the longer way. But I think this is shorter and you know, better, I think. Okay. So I think we've done that with the death of the cow. We are gonna change that next time with the game over. But for now, I think this is fine. All right. So probably the most interesting method is gonna be death by item, which is the next one. So death by item, and let's uncomment it. Is it that one? Yes. And then after that, I want to say butcher item collision, which is here. So let me just, it's this one. Okay, so we have thrown items, killer, collection, and pickup items, which are in here. So this has to be thrown items, killer, collection, and pickup items. Okay. So death by item is just gonna play the animations and, you know, change states and so on. It's not gonna be anything special. It's just that I don't want to put all of the logic inside one method, because it's gonna get too big. So this method is just gonna take key, which is gonna be string, and it's gonna change, you know, the animations and so on. Okay, I suggest we do that after the break, because these two are probably a bit longer as methods. So yeah. Right. So here I have to add array of Phaser.sprite, which is written this way. Killer collection is of type killer collection, and pickup items is of type array of Phaser.sprite as well, which I'm not going to put on a new line, I think. Right, so there was a question regarding the body and the sprites and so on. So if you're having problems with collisions and stuff happening from a distance or something, this is why we have this method here, this one. And if I don't have this, let's see how the body is gonna look like which should happen in render, so it's going to be pretty much the same thing. So if we have butcher this dot butcher list of 0, then we want to say this dot game dot debug. Actually, I'll just copy it. So Control C, Control V, and inside here I just want to say this dot butcher list of 0 dot state, just to debug the body and see what's going on. So let's do that. Remember that I removed the set body method, and I don't think this one refreshed properly, so let's do it again. Or did it? This is quite weird. I'll refresh again just in case before looking into the code. Still this. That's weird. Fixed rotation, gravity, anchor, scale. I've no idea, to be honest. Let me uncomment it and we'll see. So if you remember, I was thinking that the same thing happened with the cow as well. If you remember, we had a huge body before we used this method of set size. But for the butcher, maybe it's not the case. I'm not sure. But in any case, it should be. Yeah, I really don't know. That's not possible. So let me comment that again, and let's wait for this to flash in yellow or not. Yeah, it should have been a huge sprite. There is a reason why I did the set body thing. Yeah, I have no idea. But if you remember, we saw the same thing with the cow as well. So this is what this method does normally, and I would expect this to happen. If you don't have this method, what's gonna happen is that the body is gonna be by default the size of the sprite, and in our case, in the JSON files, that's 1024 by 1024, which is huge. So either now it doesn't refresh properly or something else is happening. I have no idea. But yeah, so this is the thing. You have to use the method which is body set size. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Right. So let's get back into the butcher. Remove that and that. And let's start doing these items, which are probably going to be the most interesting part of the game. So key is going to be of type string, and now what is it that we have to do? So this dot state dot animations dot play key plus death, and then null false. So we just want to play it once, and if you see up here, it's knife death, grenade death, shotgun death, and these are going to be the keys that we give to our method. And then we can just say key plus death here, and it's going to be fine. It's going to deal with all of the states of the butcher that we need. Okay. After that, this dot is dead equals true. This dot states dot body dot set size. I'll explain why we do that in a second. 0 0 0 0. So what's gonna happen? So we have a couple of types of death. So for the first one with the grenade, the butcher just blows up, okay, and we remove him from the game. I think it was either that or after completing the animation or something, I don't know. If we shoot him with a shotgun, he falls down, like there is a special animation for that. Then he slides to the left until he reaches the souls, and then we play the other animation, which is death by soul. Which I don't know. I don't think I've shown you this one, but yeah, it's quite cool. So why do we set the body to 0? Because we don't want, as the butcher goes through the cow, we don't want him to push the cow or do something with physics and collisions and so on. So this is why we want to make sure, as the butcher travels through to the souls, that he doesn't push our cow or trigger some collision or something, so that the cow is gonna die, but the butcher is dead and there is no way for him to kill our cow. This is an interesting set of arrows that I've drawn. Anyways, okay, so this is the one thing that we want to do, and now we want to do a couple of things. So if key equals grenade, as I said, the butcher just behaves differently in the different situations. So for the grenade specifically, he blows up, and as soon as he does that, we just want to do a couple of things to make sure that he's going to be removed from the game and we wouldn't see like a frame of the animation or something. So this is what we are going to do here. So this dot states dot animations dot current animation dot on complete dot add this way. Alright, so the thing is that the animation doesn't end with an empty frame, and we see some remnants of the explosion, and thus we want to just say this dot states dot alpha equals 0, and we want to say also current state equals butcher states dot grenade death. I think that's all for this case. Actually, let's get out of here and let's say else if key equals knife. Then we want to do something else, and this is this dot current state equals butcher states dot knife death, and we are going to be using these states at some point, but I'm really not sure where right now. And then finally, else if key equals shotgun, we want to say this dot current state equals butcher states dot shotgun death. This dot states dot animations dot current animation dot on complete dot add this. Just a second. Okay, so we just want to say this dot states dot bring to top for some reason. I think the butcher was going behind the souls. So we have the souls, we have the butcher, and either he was going behind the souls or behind the cow or something. I'm not really sure. And I didn't want it to be this way, so thus this method which just simply says bring to top. All right, now we are in this method, which is going to use the method death by item, but it's going to do a couple of more things as well. So how do we determine which item has hit the butcher and which animation to play, or in this case which key to give? Well, we just have to go through all of them, right? So that's how we start. So we start with thrown items. Just a second. Thrown items dot for each, and that's gonna be item. I guess this should be this as well. Okay, and what is it that we have to check? So for each item that has been thrown, and this will be, I think, no more than 3 or 4 items we can throw at the same time. We have to do this dot game dot physics dot overlap, and want to say item this dot states, and there is a callback here where we would have to check, which item it is and so on. Basically, most of the method is going to be here. So once we have an overlap between one of the items that we have and daughter Kate, once we have overlap between one of the items and the butcher, then we want to do something. So the first thing that we want to do is this dot death by item, and it's item dot key. Phaser.sprite. Okay, so this key comes from Phaser. So every sprite has its own key, and it's the same key that we used to, add. So it's these keys that we've used to add each single sprite. So if we go into preloader, I think it's right here. If you notice, these are the same. So we have knife. We have, where are the others? Like grenade. So yeah, we have knife, we have grenade, and there is nothing else that we throw. Bullet, we don't have a bullet. Oh yeah, I do have bullet, but it's more like shells. But I haven't done that yet, I think. They don't have to, so it's not like the shells have to hit the butcher. It's done very instantly. They just fall off the shotgun. But once we get there, I'll fix that. It should be relatively quick to do. But yeah, so we have these two, and we can just check for the sprite's key, which is gonna give us, either this or this, or shotgun. I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that it's one of these three, but it's a property of the sprite. It's not like, or it's not. Argument of type string, texture bitmap data is not assignable to parameter of type string. I really want to check this. So let's go into game, and I would like to log maybe somewhere around here. This dot game dot world dot log. Just to check what's going on, and I'll show you at the same time what I mean by the key. So hit play, and then of course we wanna stop this at some point. So phaser.world, inside we have children, which is array of 5, and we have phaser.sprite, so let's open that one up, and somewhere around here we are looking for key. Key is null. That's quite interesting. So what is that sprite even? Oh, this is, no. Phaser sprite, animations, children, game, hit area. There is no way to tell. That's very weird. Let me stop the video here, and I'll figure it out, and then I'll be back. Alright, so quickly, so I was going through, I don't know if you can see this, but I'll try to zoom in. So we had this sprite here, which didn't have a key. So somewhere, where is key? Can you see it? Up. Oh yeah. So this one is null, and this is probably the background for clicking the cow. So the jump one. And so if I close this one and I open a group, and then I go to the children of the group, which are now sprites, and each sprite has a key, which is a string. And this is what we do. So the problem here is that we are giving thrown items dot for each, and we are giving an item. If you remember, thrown items is an array of sprites, so we are giving a sprite, and we want to give the key of the current sprite. So it's either a knife or a grenade, and yeah. So this is quite weird, I think, because this key should be string, and for some reason I get an error. So instead of figuring out what's going on, I'll just remove that and then trust the fact that it's just gonna be it's just gonna be a string here, and it's gonna be either grenade or knife or shotgun, I think. Okay. Right, so what is it that we have to do after that? Okay, so once we've done that, we have to say thrown items dot splice thrown items dot index of item with 1. So we've shot, we've hit the butcher, we've played the animation, and then after that we just want to remove the item. By the way, I think that this case in the else if is used from another method. It's not here. This is just for the grenades and the knives. So with the shotgun, I think that's in a separate method, which we should be having here. So it's probably in this one. But we'll see. There is a reason why it is here. But yeah, anyways. Okay, so this is the first thing that we want to do, and then we want to say item.destroy. Because it's a sprite and we want to remove it safely from the game. Okay, right, so then a couple of things that we want to do. If item.key equals grenade, and it's gonna be weird if that check is fine now. Yeah, it's very weird that this check now is fine, because I'm comparing a string to a string, but in here this was not a string, so weird stuff happening. So what is it that we want to do? Well, we just want to play some blood. Yeah, collection dot actually bones first. Bone emitter. Oh yeah. So the thing is here that if we kill the butcher with a knife, we don't want to have we don't want to have bones. If it's with the grenade, we want to have that. So this is the specific case here. So killer collection dot bone emitter dot start position dot x plus offset, and position dot y minus offset plus 10, apparently true, 850. So I was fiddling around a lot with values here, and to properly place where the bones and the blood should be. So I don't have these two, and I'll write them right now. So var position equals this dot states dot body, and then we have some offset, which is 100. Offset. Alright, so this is just fiddling around with values for the x and the y. So we basically start from the butcher. It has an anchor of 0.5, and then we do some offset by x and y, and that pretty much works, except for this thing here, plus 10. But you see how this works in the end. Okay, then in any case we want to have some blood, so killer collection dot blood emitter dot start, and I think it's the same thing, so I'll copy that one in here. Actually 50 bones is quite a lot, and I've definitely done something here that's not true, so let me check. Offset plus 10, so we have true, we have, I think that this was lifespan. Yeah, this was lifespan, so this one I've set to be 2000, and then I've set random number of bones, so it's going to be math.apps of RNG 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be either one or 2 bones. Maybe we can do a bit more, like 1 to 4. And then this one is as is, so 50 with the lifespan with 800, because 50 bones is going to be, I think, too much for the renderer and the physics engine to handle. So I think this is the one. All right, then what else? We would have to decide whether to spawn a knife or not. So as I said, as the butcher dies, he can spawn a knife or not. So let's do that here. Var should throw knife RNG equals math.random, and in here if should throw knife RNG is let's say less than 1, because we want to see how he spawns, and then we can decide after that. Maybe we can put also some constant for this as well. I guess this should be this here, or null this, because remember this method here had this is for the overlap, so this is the callback, the whole thing that we do. Then we have process callback, which I don't know what that is, and then we have the context, which is this, and this is for the overlap method. Yeah, but anyway, so let's leave it at less than 1. And what is it that we want to do? This dot spawn pickup knife position dot x plus offset position y minus offset and pickup items here. So this is a method that we don't have how to spawn the knife, but we'll do that in a second as well. And I think this is it. So let's comment that. So the only thing that we can check now is pretty much, I think, both the grenade and the knife. We should be able to check whether they're working or not. Let me close that. Let me remove the renderer, and the cow died, unfortunately. So let me check with the game here and remove the renderer, which is this thing here. And let's refresh and see again what's happening. Alright, so throwing the grenade. So there is a question that I'm hearing: why does it stutter, or why does it lag this way? And there are a couple of reasons for that. One of them is that I'm recording as well right now. But the main one is even if I stopped, it would still lag, and it's a bit weird. I had a discussion with the developers downstairs. Why does it lag? And please notice that it lags for the first couple of items that I throw. So let's throw a couple of items, like more and more items. The butcher dies, and notice how now it doesn't lag at all, right? Which to me is quite weird. And I was asking, and what I was told is very interesting. So remember that now we are creating objects. Each time when you click, you create a new grenade or a new knife, and this is taking up some RAM, right? Making new objects is gonna take some RAM, right? And we were talking that maybe the buffer size at the beginning is not set to a large number, right? The buffer for the RAM. So it doesn't know how many grenades are we going to spawn, or knives, and so on. And at some point, once we throw a couple of them, it decides to to make the buffer larger for our game, and then it stops lagging. So this is the only explanation that we could come up with. But there are ways that this can be fixed. If you have it in your games, or in the future if you're making some kind of a more complicated game. The first thing is pooling. So let's say that you don't expect more than 10 grenades to be thrown at the same time, so you create them once near the cow in a list of grenades. You set their alpha to be 0, and then you just set the alpha to be 1 and like throw them. So it's like you keep. So let's say that this is the cow because it's now dead. Sad face. But let's say that this is the cow, and here you actually spawn 10 grenades and 10 knives at the beginning. And what you want to do is just set the alphas to 1. Set the alpha of one of them as soon as you throw it to 1, and this way you wouldn't have to deal with the whole creating a new object while you play. And this is a very common practice even in bigger games. I don't know if any of you are aware of Dota like in detail, but that's the one game that I play. So as soon as a hero dies within the game, it's not removed from the game. It's actually placed below the visible space, below the ground. So it's like Dota is like 3D. Let me actually bring up a screenshot of Dota 2. I don't know, river. I don't know if you've noticed this. Probably you have if you played the game, but I'm sure in all other similar games it's pretty much done the same way. So this is the hero, and let's say that we kill him, and you know, he has to spawn in like I don't know, 20 seconds, or in this case probably a minute and a half. But what is done is not like destroying him from the game. He actually goes underground, and this is like with an animation, like he goes underground, and then they just change the position to the one which is in the base here, because creating a new object which is this complicated, as you know, each hero in Dota, they have, you know, spells, points, levels, and whatever, like a lot of things. So instead of creating it again, which is gonna take time and probably is gonna lag for everyone in the game, instead they just put it below the ground, and then they, he's placed here now, and then they just place him at the beginning of the game. In this case, is it down? Yeah, it's down. Sorry. So yeah, let me move that to green. So this is no. The base is here, and he spawned from here to here, straight away. But the point is that he's not created again. So have you played? So I know that some people play League, some people play Dota. Have you noticed something like this, where like the character goes underground and then it's just spawned at the beginning? Yeah. All right. So this thing here, I think we don't have to do. We're just gonna know that for the first couple of grenades and knives, we are gonna get a bit of lag. This is true also for the butchers as well. Does the knife work? Oh yeah, it works. Bam. Okay, so someone could be thinking, why is, you know, how is this working? Remember that for the knife and for the grenade as well, we had a body size as well, and I just want to show you everything how it works, so that you don't think that they magically just hit, like the knives and the grenade hit the butcher. Everything is because of these methods, which are body set size. So I fiddled around with values, and I was thinking, well, you know, this looks good, and it works just because of that. So let me go into game. I'll actually put this back up, and I'll do the same thing, but for the thrown items. So if this dot thrown items of 0, so if we have one, then we want to say this dot game dot debug dot body, and it's gonna be this dot thrown items of 0, and we don't have states. So, and again we witnessed the death of the cow. So okay, so let me hit refresh again and click on play. Okay, so let's throw it. You see how I've set it to be like a very small area of hit just behind it, and I found it, you know, this one looks good and this one works well. Probably could have been a little bit shorter, so let me just I couldn't do it, but yeah, you saw how it was, you know, a very small line there. Yeah, so width of like 1 and then height of some value, which we did, I think it was last time, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, the same thing is true for the grenade, and I'm also doing it slightly backwards, so if slightly back from the knife as well. So this is the knife that I can draw. So notice that it's slightly behind, because otherwise if it was really hitting him, we would have hit him probably somewhere around here, because this is the body of the butcher, and we don't want to do that. We wanna kind of delay a little bit the animation. Otherwise, the knife is gonna travel through to around here, and then the animation is gonna be played, which is not cool. We want it to be at the very specific moment in time where it has reached the head of the butcher. Explanations are getting funnier and funnier. Let's have a look at the grenade as well. I think it was slightly behind as well, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, it's slightly behind as well, and it has a large area of effect as well, so that we are sure that we can hit the butcher even if we like jump. So even if I jump with the grenade, I'm still probably gonna hit him. Yeah, you know, this is just fiddling around with values, and the only thing that I was doing, you know, was just playing the I was just rendering the body of the butcher and the sprites and the bodies of the knife and the grenade, and I came up with these values for the body size. So these are not like magical stuff happening, it's just, you know, fiddling around with values that we created last time and today as well with this method set. It's not here, it's in the butcher. Actually, let me remove these things here. So in the butcher, this method is the one that saved me this one. Alright, so that's pretty much done. The only thing that we have to do is now spawn this pickup knife. So I'll do that down here. So spawn pickup knife position.x. I'm sorry, no, this is just x number, y number, pickup items. Which is just array of Phaser.sprite. Okay, now a couple of things that we have to do here. Remember that the pickup items were in game. Here we are giving them to the butcher via the update here, and we also want to have a method which is commented now, which says pickup items dot update, and I don't remember if I've done them last time. I don't think I have. We were just experimenting with rotations and stuff like that. Oh no, we haven't. Pickup items we haven't done. So as soon as I go into the butcher and do this method, we have to go in here and write this one as well. So let's do that and probably have a short break after that. Alright, so this one is very simple. What is it that we want to do? So we have the butcher, he dies, and he has to spawn this knife, so it's like he throws it, the knife rotates around and falls on the ground, and then the cow can pick it up. pretty much that. So what is it that we have to do now? Var knife equals this.game.add.sprite. It's very similar to what we've done with the knife, where the cow throws the knife, but a bit of different values there that we have. So this is going to be x, y, knife. Okay, this.game.physics.arcade.enable knife. Knife.anchor.set 0.5, 0.5. Knife.body.velocity.y equals minus 500. Knife.body.mass equals 0. I think I explained last time why I have this. I don't want it to push the cow or something like that to happen. Then knife.body.collide world bounce equals false, because I think that the knife, as soon as it reached the end here, if you don't pick it up, then it just stays here and doesn't go outside of the map, so that we can destroy it. Alright, so then we want to set the body size, so knife.body.set size 20, 30, 0, 0. This is just so the knife can land. So say that this is the ground, the knife spins around, and we want him to be, sorry, this is the ground, this is the screen, the bigger thing, so this is the screen, this is the ground. So we want the knife to be placed, I think, like on the ground, so somewhere around here. Let me try and draw a knife, so something like that. This is why we set the bounce to this one. And again, this was just trial and error, nothing less, nothing more, nothing less. Then pickup items dot push knife. Alright, that was pretty much it, I think. Or we could have done something else. Can we do that? Can we just say return knife and remove that from here? So this is the same thing that we did in the last lecture. So we have to say pickup items dot push, and then execute this method without this value. So this is the same thing that we've done with the thrown items from last time. Is there a need to explain that again, or no? Everything is fine. Okay. So let's first see whether we at all spawn a knife. That'd be cool to see. So let me get back in here. There are still butchers spawning. So let's have a look. Play. And now if we kill him, he should spawn a knife. And he doesn't, sorry, the knife doesn't rotate and doesn't collide with the ground, because we don't have this method, which is going to be in game, which is going to update every single one of these items. So let's do that and then see what's happening. So let's go to game and let's make a method which is going to be, let's say here, private, how did I call it here? Pickup items update. Items update. And that is maybe I done something wrong. This is you. And yeah, everything is fine. Okay, so let me scroll up to this method. Yeah. Okay. So what is it that we want to do? For each item in here, we want to rotate it, and then if it collides with the ground, we want to tell it to stop the rotation. And then we have a collision with the cow, I think. and then want to change the animation of the cow as well. So it's gonna be this dot pickup items dot for each. In here we want to say item. All right, let's do it step by step. So the first thing that we want to do is item dot rotation minus equals 0.2. That's the first thing. Let me just check. I don't have anything here. Anyways, okay, so let's have a look. You know, step by step. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Maybe I've done something wrong, but I'll check that in a second. I was thinking that the knife should be facing the other way, but yeah, I'll fix that in a second. All right, then we want to do collision with the ground, so it's going to be this dot game dot physics dot arcade dot collide item this dot current level dot ground dot image. And what is it that they want to do? So as soon as the knife collides with the ground, we want to say item dot rotation plus equals 0.2. So this is the way that I've done it. I could not come up with a better way to stop the rotation of the knife here. Maybe there is some way. Maybe there was like fixed rotation thing. So item dot body dot fixed rotation or something, but you know, this one works fine. So we just negate the rotation that I've given up here, so it's gonna stop to rotate. And then the next thing that we want to do, item dot body dot velocity dot x equals minus 500. So what does that do? As soon as the knife gets on the ground here, we want to move it to the left so that he can reach the cow. And then we have to do the same thing for the second image of the ground. I guess I'm not gonna put anything there. Right. Collide is dot dot ground dot second image. We want to do the same thing. And you know, let's have a look what's happened with the knife that we've spawned. I actually used the grenade because there are a lot of knives in the air, I think. So grenade comes to the cow, and I think it, you know, I think it looks fine. What do you think? Sorry? Maybe it's too big. Well, it's the same size as the one in the butcher, as the one the butcher has, I think. Alright, I think it's fine. Let's go into the code, and the next step would be to create, actually to do the collision with the cow, which is not going to be that complicated either. So physics dot arcade dot overlap item with this dot cow dot states. Okay, and apparently we have a method for that, so it's going to be this dot cow dot pickup knife, which let me have a look because I don't remember it. Pickup knife. So we change the state of the cow. We change the alpha because the pickup knife animation was in the second sprite. So we just changed the alphas. Place the second one at the same place as the first one, play, and then on complete we change back the alphas to the way they were. So let's get into game. So this is the first thing that we have to do. Actually, let's check what's going on. I think that's gonna be enough just to see what's going on. Then we have to do some cleanup for the item that we've picked. So kill this guy and pick up the knife. Kill the guy and pick up the knife. Yeah, the thing is that it doesn't destroy, so this is what we have to do here now. This dot pickup items dot splice. This dot pickup items dot index of item comma 1. Yes, and what is it that we want to say as well? Well, we want to increase this value here, right? So we want to say this dot knife button dot pickup item of 1. We've picked only 1. Item dot body dot set size 0 0. For the same reason, we don't want it to push the cow in some way, or to block it in some way. And then we want to say item dot destroy. Maybe we could do without 1 or 2 of these, but I'm sure that there is a reason why I have both of these here. Maybe there was some bug that I was fixing or something like that. And then here we want to say null and this dot cow, I think, for the context, since we're using this method here. Okay, let's have a look. So a couple of things that we've done. First, the knife should disappear, and then it should increase the ammo in the button. So let's have a look. So throw the grenade, and we pick it up, and you see how here it's now 51, 52, 53, and so on. And now comes the time to test our logic in the button. So remember, if we give 0 ammo to the knife button, it's going to be black and white, and we want to check if we actually pick up the item, whether it's going to become colored again. So let's have a look at that, and again, of course, refreshing when the cow dies. Right, so it's 0, it's black and white. Pick it up, and it's now colored. And if we throw it, it's again black and white. So it sort of works. And I cannot press it, or at least it's not gonna spawn anything if we don't have ammo. So I'm pressing it, it's not doing anything now. All right, I think I've timed it well, and I've positioned them well. So I think this one looks good enough for now. All right, so what else remains to be done? Let's have a look at the butcher. A couple of more items. I really would like to finish the butcher today, and in the next one just do now a couple of things in a game, like balancing difficulties and stuff like that. Also the game over, before we get into probably the most complicated part, which is gonna be the platforms. But I really want to finish this in this video. So we have to deal with the shotgun and soul death, which is a bit more complicated, but not too much. Spawn blood when the cow is killed by GMO, and this is a simple method which just removes the butchers as they leave the screen. So yeah, let's have a short break, and then we'll finish with these couple of things here. Okay, so we had a question: how are we updating the text? Because apparently in one of the teamwork projects, there is a problem with updating text, all the time. And the only thing that we are doing inside item button is just to change the text. So you create the text. Let's just look at it here. This.ammo text.text equals this.ammo.toString, and I'm not doing anything in the update of the game. So inside update we have nothing that relates to this text specifically, although this is going to be very hard to trace, but we're not doing anything with the text. We just created once inside the killer collection, I think. So was it here? Oh no, I am talking about something completely different. So yeah, the item button is here. We just created once here, and then we just change the text when we want, but that happens only once, and we don't have to put it in update or anything. Okay, so let's get back to the butcher, and there are a couple of more methods that we have to do. So death by item we've done, spawn pickup knife we've done, and it remains shotgun and soul death. Okay, so let me revisit and tell you again what has to happen when we do that. So let me get back here, uncomment this method, uncomment this method, copy the name so that I don't get it wrong. So the method is called shotgun and soul death, and it takes killer collection of type killer collection. Alright, so what has to happen with the butcher once we shoot him? So we already saw the conditions on when we actually trigger this method, right? So as soon as we click here, and you know the cow and the butcher are on the same level, the cow is to the left of the butcher, and also the butcher is not already dead, I think, or already shot or something. Then we can do that. Alright, so what has to happen? The butcher plays the animation with which he dies. So it's like falling down on the ground. Then he has to start moving left until he reaches the source, and then we play another animation. And that's pretty much it. But all of that requires a bit of code to be written. Alright, so let's have a look. I don't know in what order I've done this method. It looks very messy. So let me have a quick look through it and we'll see what's happening. So I just want to check whether if we shoot, at least one animation plays, because I don't know. No, it doesn't. So where do I do that? That's interesting. Let me have a quick look through my code and I'll figure out when we are calling this method, death by item, with the shotgun text, because right now I don't know. Right, a couple of things that we fixed, and probably I'll pause once again. So the first thing was this thing here, this method was commented. So I have to uncomment it. This is in game when we actually press the button. We want to call the method from the cow, which is to shoot the butcher. And this method wasn't called. And also this method butch.spawn pickup knife, which we wrote today, but inside this class we wrote it last time. We have to remove that pickup items and say pickup items dot push, and do this as well. So alright, let's have a look what's happening and if that's going to work at all, and then we will see if there has to be anything else that need. Alright, but we don't play the animation, which is not nice. So yeah, let me try and fix that, and then I'll get back here. Right, so we fixed the bug. So inside this method within the cow. So yeah, let's go through the whole logic once again. So inside game we have this button here. As soon as we press it, what is happening? So let me go into game, and where is that? So yeah, here. if we press the shotgun button, we change the state clearly, and then after that we code the method from the cow. So cow.shoot shotgun. Let's go in here and see what's happening. This is the method. From here we do this check where they're on the same Y, whether the cow is left from the butcher, and if the butcher is not already shot, then we wanna start some blood. I don't remember whether it was there, but I think it was. Okay, and then we have death by item. Butch.death by item was the method that I didn't have, so this is why I didn't change the state of the butcher. And then after that we have to decide whether we want to spawn a pickup knife or not. So this is the only thing that I added, was this line of code, and now it worked. So let me just put that back up again. So play, and now when we shoot him, I have to refresh once again, I guess. Otherwise that would be weird. Shoot him and then he dies, which is fine. Okay, I think that is fine. Now probably the only thing that we have to add is the animation at the end, and maybe some other things as well that I don't remember now. Alright, so let's get back to the code and let's go to the butcher and let's go on with the method that we just started. Shotgun and soul death is probably once the butcher reaches the end, because everything else we've done. We can shoot him, he doesn't kill us anymore, and then so on. So this method, because I don't remember how I don't remember every method of my code, but I would guess now that the only thing that this method does is the final part where the butcher now is dead, he's going to the left, and once we get to the souls, what happens there? I guess it's just that. Alright, so our butcher already has his state changed by this method because we just coded from the cow with the key shotgun, so it's already in this state. And now we just have to do this thing here, where we check. So if this .states.body.x is less than 100, so if he's now in the souls or in the bottom soul, this current state equals butcher states shotgun death. By the way, I wanted to say something about the state. Remember that this is an enumeration, and all of these are evaluated to 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So if you want to check whether your object is in a specific state, be very careful, because say butcher state dot, let me just type that here. Can I? Yeah. Let's say butcher state or current state equals butcher states dot idle. This is gonna evaluate to current state equals 0 or false, which can do some weird things there. So if you've ever had a problem with this, then maybe just check, because this evaluates to 0, so the whole thing is gonna evaluate to false, which is gonna be equivalent to current state with a not sign at the front, which is can cause some problems, and I'm sure that I've had this at least once in JavaScript. Of course, that I don't think this can happen in C#, but for JavaScript, please be aware of that. But anyway, so now this is further on into the enumeration, so I think there wouldn't be a problem here. I just wanted to mention this so that if something happens. So since the death by soul animation is in state 2, soul death here. They want to do the same thing as with the cow. So we want to say this dot states dot alpha equals 0. This dot states dot body dot set size. We want to reset everything about the first sprite 0 0. And then we want to say this dot states dot alpha equals 1. Play the second sprite sheet. Then we want states 2. Yeah, sorry. This dot states 2 dot position dot x equals this dot states dot position dot x. Place them in the same x and y. Actually, let me just copy this line. Dot y in the end. And so as soon as he so the states 2 thing doesn't have the states 2 sprite doesn't have physics on it, and what I did was to move him with a tween. So as soon as it reaches here, you know, it doesn't have body, velocity, and so on. It just stays there, right? So what I did was, you know, just with a simple tween, just play, just move him from here to somewhere around here, and play the animation after that. So this is what I've done, because there is no reason, you know, to deal with physics and stuff like that, where we can just use the sprite's position. So this is what we do: var position tween equals this dot game dot add tween, and we want to say this dot states 2 dot position. What else? Position tween dot 2, x goes to minus 500, 2000. This is the duration. Phaser.easing.default, and auto start true, and nothing else. The rest is optional. All right, then we wanna, what is it that we want to do? So yeah, we want to play it just once, but before that, what I want to do is inside the maybe this screenshot is going to help. So it appeared that the butcher is behind the souls, and I actually want to bring him to top so that, you know, the animation is visible. So let me do that in here. Is going to be killer collection dot killer group dot bring to top. Is going to be this dot states 2. Okay, and finally we want to play this dot states 2 dot animations dot play. It's going to be soul death null false. This dot current state equals butcher states dot dead. I actually have this one here. That's quite interesting. Maybe I'm not using this one then? I don't know. Dead. Yeah, and this method we're not going to be doing now. Okay, right. A couple of more things. So let me first play this. Actually, let me just check. What else do I have? I have to throw blood and stuff like that, but I think that is fine. So let's check what's going on here now with the code and what we can improve. I'll actually make them every 4 seconds or so, because I want to be able to explain rather than just shoot. Maybe this thing every 4 seconds. Pay close attention to the bottom left of the game so that we can see the animation in full. So let's shoot the butcher as he comes, and bam. Alright, so some of you may be thinking, how does it happen that only half of the butcher is visible and the other one is not? Is because that's how the animation was done, right? It's not something like half of the sprite is in front and half of it is behind. It's just the way the animation was done. Okay, we have knives as well. Right. But then there are a couple of things more that we have to do. So please notice that there isn't any blood here, and we always want to have blood in this game. So we have to add that as well. And I've done some rotation here, which I don't know what's the reason for it, but I'll include it anyways. I have some idea, but I'm not sure. So I just want to add these couple lines of code here. If this dot states 2.alpha equals 1, then we want to say this dot states 2.rotation minus equals 0.05. Let me just check if this is going to change anything visible right now. I have an idea why I use this. It's for the thrown by GMO method, but we're not there yet, and I have no idea what these couple lines of code are doing here. I don't think this is what I wanted to do, but that looks quite cool actually. Is it? I think definitely yes. All right, I'll leave it. Just to know that. Just lower it a bit. Sick game. Sorry?
Getting very statistic
Yeah, getting very, yeah. I don't know. It's just that kind of game. Well, it's our cow. Poor thing, you know. Yeah, this looks really cool. I don't have this in my game. There must be some mistake in the code or something, but it turned out to be a feature, not a bug. So, yeah, it doesn't work this way in my code, but yeah. Right. Okay, so let's add some blood as well. So if this dot states dot alpha states 2 dot alpha equals 1, and this dot states 2 dot position dot x less than 200, and not this dot blood thrown, and this dot current state is not butcher states dot thrown by GMO. So let me put those on new lines. So this, yeah. Okay, so if we are either, so if you remember, state 2 is just for the soul death and for the GMO death. So if we are in either of these two, states, and the x is less than 200, so we've reached the souls, and we have not thrown blood yet, then yeah, and also we are not in GMO because that's thrown in a different place, then we wanna throw some blood. So this dot blood thrown equals true. Killer collection dot killer group dot bring to top the blood emitter, because remember that as soon as we spawn a butcher, he spawned at the top of the group, and actually we want to see first the blood and then the butcher, which is going to be behind. So I should have done it this way. So butcher, and then we want the blood to be on top, right? So bring to top, I guess I'm saying here killer collection dot blood emitter dot emitter. killer collection. Yeah, we have it. Okay, killer collection dot blood emitter dot start 70 480 true 800 500. So we have here x and y explode. X and y explode. This is lifespan and this is quantity. So I've put up quite a bit here. And then what else do we have? Killer collection dot killer group dot bring to top. I don't think I need this, but anyways, killer collection dot third saw dot trigger saw. Right, we want to make it, you know, bloodier as we do that. Sorry? Maybe, I don't know. I've mixed those up. So we want to do the bottom one. Refresh a couple of times and let's see what's happened with our groups and butchers and saws and blood. So blood there, it was a bit too much, I think. This is a bug. I don't know why it happens. It happens with me as well on my PC, but it comes back magically. Okay, so 500 is a bit too much. So I'll put that at say 200. And I still want to add the line that I didn't add just now. So killer collection dot killer group dot bring to top. This dot states 2. And I assume that in the end we actually want to have the butcher and then the blood. So the blood and then the butcher. This way. So let's have a look. Does it look better now? Oh yeah, I guess we wouldn't want to hide the fact that, you know, he's halved. So I assume that's oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Yes, no. Yeah, I think this looks better. And let's kill him with a knife as well, and let's keep going. Should be third saw. You sure? I think it was the bottom one that was. Bam. Yeah, it's the bottom one. Oh yeah, from the bird. Yeah, no, I like the fact that the souls are very active, you know, in this game. It looks really cool. All right, then we have two more methods which are not that long, and I'll finish the lecture. All right, so the only thing that's left is to throw the butcher by the GMO cow. So let's do that. So we'll have a method which is going to be GMO blood. So GMO blood, which I don't remember where I'm calling. Just give me a second. I have both private GMO blood and I also have thrown by GMO. So am I calling? So which method am I calling here? Oh yeah, I'm calling this one, and I am calling this one, and I'm not calling the other one. That's quite interesting. Let me pause. I'll have a quick look and then we'll go on. Right. So we'll start with this method thrown by GMO, which is going to mean that as soon as the cow is in GMO mode and the butcher comes and the cow is in GMO mode, the butcher goes up into the source. So this is going to be the method thrown by GMO, and then we have another method which is GMO blood, which is just going to throw the blood up here and change the source and stuff like that. I just wanted to keep them separate. So yeah, let's do thrown by GMO first, which I am already calling, by the way, inside here. So else if this dot current state. So this is the collision between the cow and the butcher, and I'm already calling this, but it's empty now. So yeah, let's fill it in. It's quite simple. It's very similar to this change here between the states of the first sprite and the second sprite. We had some physics to the butcher because he has to go, you know, up, but it's nothing that complicated. So in here we actually need to have physics, or at least this is the simpler way to do it. So arcade enable this dot states 2. This dot states dot alpha equals 0. We hide the original sprite. This dot states dot body dot set size 0 0, and this dot states 2 dot alpha equals 1. This dot states 2 dot position dot x equals this dot. Actually, I have those two up here, so I'm just gonna copy those here. Alright, what else do we have? This dot states 2 dot animations dot play GMO death null true. We want that to be repeated. I don't think if you've seen this one specifically. It's like he's flying. It's really cool. You see it in just a second. This dot states 2 dot body dot velocity dot y equals minus 1200. So this is gonna send him up, and the next line, which is gonna be dot x equals minus 500, is gonna send him to the left. So it's gonna be like a smooth parabola this way, going into the source. This dot states 2 dot body dot velocity dot x equals minus 500, and this dot current state equals butcher states dot thrown by GMO. Okay, so let's have a look what's happening. Hopefully this is gonna work from the first time, and then we just have to finish with, yeah, I refreshed the game when the cow died. It's always happens like that. Okay, and then the last method that we have to do is just throw blood, similarly to what we've done in the shotgun shooting method. So actually I have to press the GMO button, so let's do that. GMO, bam. Okay, again. Okay, there was a question about the cow. The cow doesn't have an animation, unfortunately. I can ask Chris to make one. It's not gonna take too long, I think. Yeah. I'll ask him to do one, and then probably add it at the end. So yeah, this is it. Now the only thing that's left is just to throw some blood. Actually, do I have this method which is remove? No, I have to do this one as well, but it's gonna be pretty quick. Just remove the butchers from every list that they're in. So let's do this one last, and then just finish up with another small method. So killer collection of type killer collection, and this is very similar to this thing here. So let's do that. If this dot states 2 dot alpha equals 1, and this dot states 2 dot position dot x less than 200, and not this dot blood thrown, and this dot current state equals butcher states dot thrown by GMO, And let me put those on new lines again. So it's pretty much the same as before, but the only difference is that here the butcher has been killed by a knife, and here it is killed by GMO cow. Alright, in here similar things as before. This dot blood thrown equals true. This dot, I'm sorry, killer collection dot killer group dot bring to top. We want to bring the blood emitter, so killer collection dot blood emitter dot emitter. We want to start it after that, so killer collection dot blood emitter dot start. 70, 80 true, and then here I have 800, 500, but let's say 200 is fine. Actually, I wanted to check this as well. Let's make this 4. So 400. These are the number of circles that we spawn. And then what else do we have? Killer collection dot killer group dot send to back. This dot states 2. So the butcher is gonna go behind the souls this time, you know, because we don't have a specific animation, you know, in this case. So this dot states 2. Then after that we want to say killer collection dot second soul. Maybe that's not second soul now, maybe it's like third soul. Dot trigger soul, and we have a method that I am not using yet. So let me just check. Please notice that the only difference is the height at which we spawn the blood, but pretty much everything else is the same except for this, you know, sent to back. So in the first case we wanted to see the butcher getting, you know, halved, getting cut into half, and in the second case we just want him to go behind the source. So let's hit F5, refresh, and I have one more method to write, which is just gonna be removing the butcher from the game. So let's see whether we have blood and stuff. So, or is it the top one? I guess it's the top one. So yeah, everything is fine except for it's not the third one, it's probably the first soul in this case. I couldn't see, was the butcher behind the souls or? Yeah, okay, so yeah, kind of like this. Alright, but there is one really important thing that we are not doing, and that is we are not clearing the by the way, now lags, but if I shoot a couple of them and throw a couple of grenades, it's gonna be fixed, and it shouldn't lag anymore. And I guess I'm still, like now I'm still recording a video as well, so that's why it lags. But normally after, you know, half a minute of play, it's all fine, it's all normal. Right, anyways, so there is one more method that I have to do, and that is remove butcher from game. It's gonna be pretty simple, so killer collection, you know, with the splice method and such. Killer collection butcher list, which is array of butcher. And up here somewhere I have to uncomment this so that we are sure that we are deleting him from the game. I could easily show you that nothing is deleted, and actually the more butchers we spawn, if I just say butcher list.length, you know, in the log or something, you are gonna see that nothing is cleaned, and you know, it just goes on, which is gonna increase the number of steps needed to do everything. You know, when we for each the arrays and so on, it's gonna take a lot more time, and also we are filling the memory with unnecessary information about the sprites, the animations of every single butcher, and this could be the reason why it was lagging as well. I'm not sure, but we have to do that in any case. So yeah, it's pretty simple. If this dot states dot body dot x less than 0, or this dot states 2 dot body dot x less than 0, so if either one of these two gets outside of the screen, this dot current state equals butcher states dot dead. Okay, so we just say that the state is dead, and after that we'll have a separate method, because a butcher can die and it should be removed from the game in a couple of different occasions. So yeah, so it will be if this dot current state equals butcher state dot dead, or this dot current state equals butcher state dot grenade death. Remember, with the grenades we don't have, you know, additional animations and stuff. You know, he just explodes and he's left there. All right, so he's not so the X of the body is not changed, it just stays there, right? Okay, so if either one of these is true, then we want to say killer collection dot killer group dot remove. What should I be removing? This, just this, I think. Actually, inside the killer group, am I adding? Let me go into game. I want to check that. So where was I spawning? Butcher list, killer collection. Oh yeah, so I have to destroy states and states too, and not just this. So let's get back here into the butcher. This dot states, this dot states too. Otherwise, you know, the whole butcher as an object is not inside the group. It's just the sprites and the animations. So yeah, I guess that's an error on my part. But butcher list dot splice, butcher list dot index of, now it should be this, because we keep the whole object inside here. And then we have to say this dot states dot destroy, this dot states 2 dot destroy. And with this current version of Phaser, there are a couple of memory leaks that we experienced, but all in all, I'm just making sure that nothing gets left behind by removing it from everywhere and also destroying the sprites. Yes, question. What about the butcher? Well, I don't think you can destroy an object. This dot destroy. Well, you no. You remove him from the array, right? So it's no longer there. It's no longer updated or anything. And if you remember, we created it, you know, with var, and we then we just passed it on to the array. So the only instance of the butcher exists inside inside the array. So if we go into game, and I'm looking at butcher list, yeah, it's here. So this is created as var, right? It's not a property, it's not anything. So the only place where the butcher exists is in here, inside the array. For everything else, there is a garbage collector, and that should take care of it as well. So if you're not updating it or anything, then the garbage collector should be dealing with it on its own. If not, I don't know how you nullify an object. Maybe we can also say this equals null, but yeah, why not? So butcher, let's go in here and say this equals null. Simple as that. Can I do that at all? No, I cannot. So yeah, I don't know. Probably there isn't a good way to do that. Alright. So yeah, I think that's it. Let's have a look whether we have better performance of our game once we've done the changes. And I'll actually, because there is no way to see it, I'll actually refresh a couple of times now. So let's have a look and hit play, and it lags now a bit. It stopped and then it lagged enormously. So what is the problem? Can't read property x of null. So maybe one method is called cannot read property something of null. Yeah, I think also we destroyed the butcher too early, so I have no idea where that should be, but probably here. So let me refresh that again. Actually, there was a log method inside game that I want to remove as well, because this takes up some of the performance as well. So let me refresh that again as soon as this glows, green. And if it's not that, I would be quite amazed. I remember that I was rearranging the methods so that I would do them in order, but let's have a look. And no. Sorry, I need to refresh. You think so? I think I did a couple of times. I have no idea. Let's have a look. So this is very strange because it was working just a while ago, and sorry, I should be inside the butcher. It was working just a bit like a while ago, and the only thing that we've done here is say this, and this is never, like, it shouldn't go in these two ifs at all, right? When you think about it. So let me comment on this, and it's probably somewhere else the problem.
Maybe in the ifs below you need to get a check if the butcher is alive. If it's there.
That is unbelievable. All right, so let's think this through. So okay, states body.x less than 0 or states 2.body.x less than 0. Is any of these true at all? That is not true. That is not true as well. So it's not getting into the first one for sure. Is it possible that it gets into one of these two by any chance? So the question or the suggestion was, what about state 2 if it has a different state? Well, state state 2 is a part of the class. So yeah, I guess I will pause. I'll try to find the bug, and then I'll finish the lecture. All right, so we found the error, or I think I found the error this time. It was not someone else, as it normally is. So inside here, I'm saying this dot states dot body dot x less than 0, which is fine. And inside here, I'm saying this dot states 2 dot body, but we don't always enable physics, and definitely not at the beginning of like not when we make the butcher. So this one should be position, and everything should be fine and working now, hopefully. I need to refresh a couple of times before I actually think that I'm wrong and this is not true, that I fixed the bug. So let's have a look, and for a second, and we have a butcher which is gonna die happily a couple of times before we end the lecture. So this is what we've done, killing him with grenades. Nice. I think it's smooth now as well, or at least if I throw a couple of grenades. I think it's smooth now. So let's check this one. Came out really good or not. So I'm removing him a little bit too early from the game, I think. So I'll fix that in just a second. So let's do that. Let's fix that right now. So let's make that not less than 0, but more like minus 200, or maybe no. If I set something like width or something, it will be minus a very big number, because the sprite's width is too high. So let's try with 300 here and minus 300 here, and let's see if that's gonna help, because we want to be able to see the beautiful animations we have, right? Maybe I'm not changing it in the correct method. We'll see. So let's check this one. So this one was not in the correct method, but this one is now fine. So up here we had the same check somewhere. So thrown by GMO, we want to have this shotgun shooting. So states alpha and so on. It's less than 100. What happened to the animation? I have no idea. I'll pause again, try to fix it, and then I'll finish the lecture. Right, so the bug was noticed this time by someone else. It was not me. So the problem is that once we hit the saw in our shotgun and saw death method, so once we hit it, we were setting the state straight away to dead, and it was then removed by this method. So what we did to fix this, on complete of the tween, which moves the state and plays the animation, or it has nothing to do with the animation, just the tween, which moves him from the source, right, from the source to outside of the screen. On complete of this, then we stay current this or current state equals butcher states dot dead. And when I'm thinking about this, there is not even a reason to do that here. So even if I delete these two, I am still doing this method, which now probably I can change to less than 0, because state 2 has a tween which changes the x to minus 500, and we are still gonna catch this inside the first if. And then hopefully, I had a problem with refreshing, so I'll try to refresh as many times as possible now, so that we can see if everything is working fine. So hit play and test it again whether everything is fine. So shooting the butcher, and it works sort of. it has to be minus something. Okay, so this one maybe minus 200 or something. It's fine. And refresh many times until that works. Play, and alright, so shoot the guy. Alright. Okay, so let's check if everything is fine. So the grenade one is fine. I really love this pickup animation here. It's really cool. Like bam. And then we throw knives. There was a really cool way where you can, let me see if I can, so jump and throw. It's really cool. There was the double jump and throw, but I missed him. Yeah, this is cool. So yeah, and then the GMO was the final one. There is blood. There is blood and bones here. There is blood here and blood here as well. And then the knife works as well. I really like how I aimed the blood with the knife here, like exactly where the head is. It looks really cool. Bam. Alright, so that's it for this lecture. We did a lot of work, and the butcher was definitely the hardest thing about the game, I think. I still haven't done the I still haven't done the platforms, but I don't think they will be that complicated to do, as we just have to tie them to the levels, level 1 and level 2, and I think that will be that will not be too complicated to do. But other than that, I think this is the butcher. We've done everything here. We managed to kill him in many different ways. So next time, as I think I mentioned, we will go into game. We will create some difficulties. We will tidy up the code in here because there are a lot of things that we've tested and we don't need anymore. So we'll tidy it up. It will be nice and clean. So right now it's 209 lines of code, and after we tidy it up, it will be a lot less. So do some difficulty stuff like that, and the lecture after that we'll do the platforms, I think. So that'll be next Monday. Then we'll have probably 1 or 2 final ones where we have to balance everything. Maybe I'll also show you how to actually build for Android, and I guess that'll be it. All right, so I'll see you on Thursday.